All right, we're gonna get everything set up. So give me a second here to get my screen up in case someone wants to comment or want to say something. Cool. All right. I go by B Jammin since birth, and we are going to make some music today. We're not going to do too much. I am going to do a little talking, as I think talking helps people to understand what I'm doing. So I like to walk people through the steps because there's no point in you just watching me make music. It's not a concert. This is a forum to learn how techniques that you can use in your music. And I think it's important for people to understand that because I get these commenters who say, can we just get some videos where you're making music? Of course. But I have to do different types of videos so that others join and want to subscribe too. It's not just to get people who want to watch me make music. And you should be making music yourself. These videos are for your inspiration to find techniques and ideas for you to go make music, not just watch me make music. That's kind of my goal in making music is to inspire others to do the same. So that said, we're going to get started. Let's see, where do we want to go? I want to do something somewhat experimental today, as I tend to easily gravitate towards my jump into some jazz or jump into some R&B, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want to do the same thing. We're going to use some Ableton tools from Elephant dot dot what is Elephant's website? Anyway, Elephant makes these cool generators. So we're gonna mess around and see if one of these generators stirs something up. Give me 1 second while I turn on the keyboard. That's the Osmos. Remove my deck saver here while the Osmos loads up. And we're gonna see if we can come up with something. We're gonna try a few of these. We're gonna use some other programs too. There's one that IJO Audio made that's really cool. I'm gonna try. So we can just hit random on this. So I find a sound I like. This is pretty good. Now what's cool is this is the generator, but he has other ones that do specifics like pads, plucks, bass, arps. Well, I like this. Plus you get, when you buy his pack, you get the space, so other generator effects. So let's come up with, I'm gonna remove this for now. Let's come up with an idea. I'm just gonna start playing and see what I do. Now, some people start with drums. I tend to not do that for whatever reason. However, we could start with something percussive. I have so many different options. It really comes down to whatever I feel at that moment. But I think it would be fun to try Dyad to see if we get anything. This is another fours.fm plugin. Now, if I use this, I tend to like to pick a scale of some sort. We're going to have it randomize everything, and then let's just pick a scale. We'll go with something like Hungarian minor, just see what it comes up with. And then I always use the random to make stuff. You can adjust these filter like things here to get the sounds, but let's just see what it plays. I'm gonna slow it down because I want to play at a slower pace. This may change though, we'll see. And we'll throw some delay or reverb over that. Let's use Future Verb. Feel like I hadn't used that in a minute. We'll lock in that. We can use this as a bass almost. But technically it's a pad. Okay, let's just do that. Well, I don't like that. Let's do it over. I have an idea. Okay, cool. And J, so we're just going to consolidate. This is the bass line. I don't usually start with a bass line, but sometimes just why not? Go ahead and try it. Consolidate it, duplicate it. We'll duplicate it out 4 times and then consolidate that again. So now we have 16 to work with to start with. Dyad is just kind of there as a placeholder for now. We'll see if we want to change it. I do sometimes wish, and maybe it's possible, that Dyad would let me just print MIDI to the thing, but whatever. For right now, we're just using it as a little shape it up. Okay. Now we do have the new plugin that I showed you guys, Engua. Let's mess with that a little bit. As soon as I find it, right here. Which is a sequencer technically, so we could use it on anything. So we're gonna put it up here. And then we'll add a synth to that of some sort. So Let's go into fours and see if we can find. Let's go back to Gen and use something in Gen. This time we'll aim for a specific pad. So there we go. We'll scale lock. Let's figure out what scale we use first, because I don't really know. Let me grab scaler just for this purpose. Hit the record, and we want to detect the MIDI that I'm playing, so we use. So we could go, let's go F sharp major, that's fine. So we'll go here, we'll go F sharp major. I don't hardly ever work in major typically, so, but we could try it, it won't hurt. All right, minimize these two. We may use addictive drums. I probably won't use addictive drums. I'm used to using it so much. I want to get rid of that. I like to get rid of stuff too and not let stuff linger. What's up, Bedroom Bangers? Crazy Wabbit. Yes, sir. Okay, let's get over to here. So we did a bass. And we're going to scale lock. We'll put the drunk mode on. We'll do some shuffling. Little shuffling. And turn on the rhythm is random. Turn up the human all the way. Put a little swing on this thing. Open up the modulation. Now, I was watching a video that he did with this recently. It was really cool how he mapped everything. So I got to learn how to do that a little bit better. But you could map it to some of these knobs. So like this one, can we map it here? I guess you have to map it to other stuff. Let's try this though. Let's see. We click map and we click this filter. Yep, there it is. See, so it mapped this filter to that, and then we can adjust it right here using the percentage. So now it's gonna move this. Let's map this to the frequency. Do some weird mappings. Adjust some of these percentages. We're gonna drop this down to 25. Shuffle this thing around a little bit more. Put the duration up. It can get really wonky really fast. So I'm doing a lot of crazy mapping just to see what it does. This may not work out, but it's okay. Okay, this is getting wild quickly. Um, I'm not going to use it for this, obviously, but it was fun trying it. Let's go see where we can go next. I'm going to throw the pad in and just see. So I'm just hitting random and creating new pads. If you like a variation you see, then you can save it over here as a preset. It's kind of like Mutate and Omnisphere. Except for this one's designed to create you just pads. And it's built in all using Ableton Max for Live tools. Okay, I'm not hearing anything that speaks to me, so we're going to move on. This is one I like a lot too. It's called Ambient Synth. It's made by Konstantin Klim, and it's really cool. It's like instant ambient music. Turn on. I wish he would update it too, because then he could put some MPE stuff in there. It would be incredible. Is it random? I used this a lot on my first album. He has another one called Chaos too. Chaotic Synth, I'm sorry. It's pretty cool. This is it right here. Let's play with it, see if... You don't know what you're going to get either. It's real crazy. Could be something subtle like this. Crazy chaotic like this. Every press is something Star Wars like. So I like these little synths. Okay, let's see. That's not working though for me. Let's try this Fours Cheryl or Cheryl, where you can shape the sounds. Slip out that. Now you can set all this to macros and have it do random stuff. Messing with the matrix. I kind of wish he would have put like a randomizer here too, because I'm not the type to sit here and play with this. Now we can put a filter over it and soften it up a little bit, but so I'm going to do two things. I'm going to put a color on. the saturation. And then an auto filter on the end of it. Pretty cool. I'm gonna try something different. See what else I like. Maybe we'll go with something sensible. It's not so wild. Let's grab Omnisphere and see what we can do from Omnisphere. Gotta make sure I put it on the right one too. Okay, let's go in here to mute, to libraries. And since Tom Wolf has a 50% off sale right now, let's use some of his stuff. This is called Sleep. Be fine. I turned off my audition because I don't want it to audition every. Sleep is not doing it for me. Let me find something else. This is Fractal Part 3. Let's go to pads. Nope. Welcome to the fun of finding the sounds that you want. We're going to use Luthrum's Ambient 3. You know what I don't think? I think we're not going to use pads. We're just going to use keys. Hey, let's try Bloomer, see what Bloomer can do for this. If Bloomer comes up with some cool chords for us, get us going. All right, Bloomer. I like to see the keyboard in here, it just helps. So we'll go in Bloomer and we'll set the key this time. Now they don't have the Hungarian mode, unfortunately, so we will use just the regular minor. We'll lock the key in to F sharp, and we'll set the chords to about, we'll do 8 for right now. We'll lock it at 8. Put a little bit of motion in there, just a little bit, and generate. Generate again. It should have started when it, there we go. Nope. You know what we could do? We could write our own. Hold on a second. Let me try this. Let's do scalar. Or you know what? Let's do spacewalk because we didn't do spacewalk in a while. So we're going to go into spacewalk, turn it on, and we're going to generate at least 16 chords. We don't need 96. That's crazy. Let's do 32 just to give us a little more space. And then we will bars per chord. So it should be, let's keep that at 4 for right now. We'll allow some more surprise, little variation, turn on a new pattern. We're going to change this from Dorian to the Hungarian minor, which I like. Give me a little more variation, that'll work. And then we'll just drag it to the sequence. There's 32. Did it change my tempo? No, it's still the same. Eef, it sounds terrible. That ain't gonna work. Nope. Scratch that plan and let's go with space, our scalar. Oh, that's right. I set this chord progression to major. I didn't use Hungarian minor. I feel like I used Hungarian minor, but whatever. Let me just double check. There's no way this is C major, so let me fix this now. So it should be F sharp major, I think is what we use. I don't know why I was thinking we used the Hungarian scale, but we didn't. Because I think I started here, right? So we got to go back. Oh, because I used Hungarian minor here. Let's change this to major. We'll switch it to F because it doesn't matter. I mean, this is just for the rhythm portion. I'm fine with that. Okay, on the keys, it does say F major. which is very similar to Hungarian minor, which is funny. Rocking to the metronome. Yeah. I can turn the metronome off too, because it does irritate me too at the best, even when you're trying to create. That's that double felt intimate. Sounds pretty good. Jazz. Still my favorite one of these is the intimate. But I kind of like the double felt. It's not bad. It's real fuzzy though. Let's just stick with the jazz piano. I like it. It's not bad. Alright, back to scalar. So what we could do is, this is really working from scratch. It's like coming up with, let me turn this volume down just a little bit so I don't have to talk so loud. What we could do is have it detect a chord that we like. So I could play something like, well, you can't see, right, what I'm playing. Let's put, can this go on the same track as this? It did. Now we're gonna grab another one and throw it here. This way, whatever track I'm on, it doesn't matter. You should be able to see the piano. So let's put that back at 49. All right, cool. So obviously we're not using this. We're gonna dump this stuff here. Get rid of this. Yeah, doing well, man. Just, this is the process when you don't have a process. You just kind of free flowing, trying to find your way through it. Why is scalar tweaking out? Good Lord, scalar. Oh, scalar, come on. All right, so cool. So we, sorry about that. Let me delete that. So we're gonna play accordion, but I'm gonna turn this record off. Shouldn't be, it's still detecting. All right, let me just play something. So G major, G flat major 7 is what we'll start with, since we detected that chord. And then we'll use this, minimize movement, and we're going to work within this scale that we're in. So we'll see where we'll go. So we'll start with, this is tonally. We'll go there. Go there. All right, there's our chords. So we just use Suggester to help us. We started with one chord that I played in, and then we use this one to help us. Now we lock them, and everything in yellow we can play. And it's telling me that this is a double harmonic scale, which is not what we want. So we need to change that because that's not what we want either. So we want to go back to the original scale that we started in. So we're going to type it in. F sharp. Major. That's what scale we want. Why is it playing my scale for me? I don't know, but all right. Cool. So there's our scale. Nope, not feeling it. Moving on to the next. This is what people want to see as you figure out how to make music live. So they want to see you go through it as if they were doing it. So we're looking for F sharp major. So I'm going to look through my chords that I already have and see if there's something that stands out. So this is F major and Neo. Let's see what these chords sound like. I am not sure why this thing is playing chords for me when I have not recorded anything. But we're going to stop for a moment and see if we can figure out why it's doing that, because it's driving me crazy. It must be a button I've clicked on to default it to play or something. Tell you what we're going to do to fix this. Delete scalar and bring it back in because it's having a moment. Plugins. Scalar. Where did I put it? Scalar right here. Throw it on there. Give it a second. Turn the felt piano off. And hopefully we won't have that issue with it trying to play the chords. Okay, so we'll go back to my user. I'm going to look through some of these other presets and see. I just want to find F. So there we go. F, smooth jazz. We'll take that. That's fine. Try out smooth jazz. So the reason why it says F or it says D minor here is D minor and F are the same. So D minor is the relative to F major, in case you're wondering. That's music, so theory, if in case you want to do that. Okay, so it looks like Omnisphere is showing no input. That's fine. We'll just put scalar back in there. And there we go. Okay, so scalar should be able to work. I could make R&B easy if I wanted to, or like some pop or some, jazz real easy, but I enjoy messing around, figuring out. Do you have a favorite chord generator or have several that you Yeah, I did a video on it just the other day. My Voltron chord app basically is Scalar 3, Bloomer, and then the one I just had up, which was Spacewalk. So Spacewalk is good for ambient. I think Bloomer is amazing for the emotion that it gives, which is what you want with chords. But I think if you just want an overall, the best to have, Scalar 3 is the one. If it was the one that I had to pick out of all of them, I'd pick Scalar 3. Just because it has so many features in it. I mean, it's huge. And because it has the most chord base. Oops. I mean, look at all these chords, progressions, and things you can go through. So eventually Bloomer can grow and get there, but Scalar's been out for a while. So it's pretty heavy. Plus, people make chord packs for it, which is what I'm using here as a chord pack to come up with ideas. So I'm triggering these with these yellow keys, right? I turn Humanize on and it'll adjust the velocity and timing for me. Then I can just pick what chords I want and build a progression down here, or just play the progression in. And I'm literally just playing a single note, by the way, in case you're wondering. So one note is triggering this chord, but it's putting the velocity changes and everything on it. Then you can add in stuff like this where you get expression. So like, let's say I go with this soft jazz. So it'll hold it. I mean, if you don't mind if you want the jazz swing, then they have these. So if you turn this on as the performance tool, you see it's on. Now when I play the chords, so you can use these motions. That's basically, and then pick the timing you want it to be. So like I probably want this a little slower. It's playing the melody over the top for me, or regular speed. You can change the speed of it. Now the reason why I don't use this feature is because I want to play my own rhythms. I want to play my own melody. So this is good if you want to use their melodies, their motion, their whatever. But if I turn it off, I can just use my own. So let's pick some chords. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we'll go with this chord. Drop it down here. Okay. And then we'll go this chord. I'm jumping around grabbing chords. I want that chord twice. I like this chord. And I'm going to show you what you can do with your melody, which is basically the same chord here. That chord. So I'm going to scroll down and grab. That's another version of the B9. So all of these are the same. This B9, B9, they're just different inversions of it. But they sound different when you hear them. And then you need a resolving chord, is what I like. Ooh. Whatever that is, give it to me. Pause. It's a D sharp 13. Okay, so this is going to be my chords that I picked from this pack, right? So then I click this button. Keep putting in the word. Yeah, we're just having fun, messing around. I could make something easier, but I'm just, just doing this for fun, just having a good time. All right, let's go to the setting menus. I prefer to do this way, so I'm going to show you something I do. Instead of bind the keys to all of them, I bind to the white keys. And then I'm going to save as default, close it. So now you see it took the black keys out of it. So it's all the chords on the white keys. And what that does is just makes it a little bit easier to remember. So now these blue keys down here represent anything in the scale. So if I play this chord, I can play anything on the white keys except the B, and I can play the B flat. So you see these two chords here, these 13s. I'm going to use them at the end to resolve the sound to start back over, right? So you see how I did that? So I'm just picking them. I'm not putting, you can put them in order as you're going to play them, or you could just pick the chords you like and then just play them in the order you like. Whereas if you use their stuff, you got to stick to their vibe or whatever. So I'm just utilizing these, and then playing the melody in my right hand. So I'm holding the chord. I could take this one out since it's the same chord. I'm gonna take that one out. And then I'm just going to narrow it down so I don't have so many chords and I can play more melody, right? So, or I could go back into there. So I have these three can all be resolved chords, or they could become the bridge. So the bridge could go, and then something unique, and then back into it, then start. So I'm really only using two chords. This one is a seventh and this one's the major nine, but it's still a B flat. And then I'm using an A minor. So I'm going from, what is this, the 4 to the 5? 4, 5. That's why. And then this right here, I'm using for the bridge, like a little breakdown part. You could even use one of these chords for like an intro. You could just be like, wait, hold on. That's the intro. So let's build something with this, a small amount of chords so that it's easy to understand. And now that we've got the chords, I'm going slower. If I'm on my own doing this and I'm not on video, I don't move this slow, making music. I really don't. It's just because I'm kind of showcasing what I'm doing so that you can learn from it. Otherwise, I'll just be pressing buttons and it'll be kind of boring. So hopefully it's helping. How you drop the chords in the binder. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, then play makes sense. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad it worked out for you. Yeah, so it's pretty easy. Another thing with Scalar that you can do, here, I'll show you once I pull it back up. If I could stop pressing it 100 times. If you want these chords and you don't want to use this the way I'm playing them in the binder, you want to leave that there. You could grab the chord from up here and drop it on there. And then look, you have the MIDI right here. So you could just drag the chord straight to the timeline. Now, the only reason I don't do that is because you lose the human feel and you also lose the playing that you actually could be doing with it to where you can make it sound a little more human-like. So putting it down here, bind the keys to these yellow. You still have your bass notes over here. If you want to use bass notes, and then on this side you have your melody. If you want to play some melody. All right, so let's just record the chords in first. See if we can get them to the rhythm we want them to be. We can always do the melody afterwards. Oops, what was that? Why is it playing? Hold up, go back. Why is it playing chords? It's confusing me because something is triggering a chord. Hold on, let me go over here. There's nothing there, good. Why is it triggering a chord when I press play? That is a bit weird. It only does it once too, but it's triggering a chord. That part I 100% don't understand what's going on. Because it shouldn't be tied to, let me get rid of this. See if that's causing any grief. No, that is not. If I turn this off, is it still so weird? Okay, we're gonna try to play these chords now. I'll figure that out later. See if it's no. Okay, notice I did that with no metronome. That's not a good idea if you want to keep the same tempo. It's just not a good idea. So what we're going to do now is actually record that. I was just playing around to see what I was going to do, and now we'll record it. You can use the MIDI capture. The only issue I have is when you lock it in, and this is a Ableton thing. It's not has nothing to do with anything else. When you lock in scalar here and you try to play, it will record up here, but it won't always record here for the MIDI capture. And it typically is only just recording the triggers you're doing versus actually recording the chords. So to record the chords, you have to press record for whatever reason. It's the only one that does that to me. I don't know why, but it does. Let's see if it still does that trigger. It's recording a note, playing a note, and I don't know why. See, I'm still not sure what it's doing. It's tweaking out, like buzzing. Hold on, let's delete this. Maybe it just happens to be Omnisphere doing something weird. And I'm going to fix it right now because I can't function with something tweaking out. All right, pretty easy. Go back to the user, Keyscape user, J3PO. We had the jazz piano, I believe. Cool. We'll just slide that up there. We'll set scalar to it. Still doing it. It's got to be something in scalar. And I'm not sure why. So let's see if we can figure this out real quick. It should not be playing anything. Boy, the day I can figure this out, I'll probably have to chat GPT this one to figure it out because it seems like it's a little above my technical pay grade. See, I don't hear it. I'm just not sure why it's recording it when I ask, or why it's doing this. See that? I don't know what that is. I'm not even playing. Weird. Why is it doing this? See, there it is again, doing something I didn't ask it to do. I find it's hard to believe it's anything but scalar causing that because Omnisphere doesn't do that alone. So something is triggering it. Let me see if I can figure out what it is. See how it's sticking with these notes here? It shouldn't do that. I think maybe it's something here. trying to turn this off, but I don't think it lets you, unfortunately. That's one of the negatives. So I'm not a fan of Keyscape's motion. I feel like it's above doing too much, basically. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Is it Diag causing the problem? Diag can't be causing the problem. See, no, it's still doing it. Let's turn this one off. Yeah, that's so weird. So weird. All ins, channel 1. Let's see if it'll work now. See, as soon as I turn scalar off, it works. So that's how I know it's scalar causing the problem. And that's a bit weird. Let me try replacing it with... Oh, wait, you know what? Undo that. Put scalar back in. By the way, you can save your... I'm going to do this so we don't have to go back through this again. We should save this progression here. Hold on, where is it? Save as a user chord or user chord set. You see how I did that? So I highlight it, I'll click there, and then we're going to put it in a default and we're going to call it YouTube. We'll just call it YT for YouTube. There we go. Okay, and so the purpose of doing this is so that I can delete it now. I'm not really worried about where it went to because we can grab it again. So we're going to try to load it again and see if it'll fix that little triggering it's doing. You need to load it as a VST3 or a VST, whichever one. I'm going to try the VST3 because I think we had it as a VST and for some reason it wasn't working. Or it was giving me that crazy stuff. Okay. Let's see. And I'm just going to try to figure out where we go to load. Should be up here in one of these favorites or defaults. There we go, default. By the way, your user presets, user default YT. Click it, and it loads up here. Once you've saved it, it's going to load up here versus down here. So we can, it doesn't matter. You can bind any of these sections. So we're going to bind this one. If you just want some basic chords from a progression, you can bind these. But you can also right click and edit each chord, extract the voicing, do all kinds of stuff. It's crazy what you can do. You can change from triads to different. So anyway, so much stuff. We're going to keep it now. Okay, we have our stuff there. Let's test it. And if it does it this time, then I don't know what else to do. We'll put scalar here. We have to turn off the felt piano in scalar. And you can set your default to not have it. I always forget to do it, but to where it says no, all, no instrument. So that way you don't use the scalar instruments in your song. You just use it as a controller. Okay, cool. So all the chords are working. That's these up here. Let's listen to it and see if it worked. It must have had a bug or something because it's not doing it. All right, so let's see if we can actually record. I feel like I've been talking about this for a minute, so let's do it. All right, I want to redo it. And when you do this, it's fun to play it as much as you can, all the way through if you can. Oh, I messed up there. Let's do it again. Here we go. Okay, that's cool. Let's go in and adjust where we need to. Like this last chord is not going to be here. You just delete it. Or you don't even have to do that. You could just drag back, Command J, consolidate it, and now you have it. Now I'm going to adjust. Now look here, I think I forgot to turn velocity on. Let me fix that now. Sorry guys. So this is what happened when you don't turn velocity humanization on. You get this straight note play. See here? This is not good. You can fix this by highlighting everything and then just randomizing it over here. See how I do that? Randomize, throw some deviation on. That works. But I prefer to play it the way I hear it initially. So we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to actually turn on the human. So my error actually is a good lesson. Make sure you turn on humanize and put on both. So now the chords should sound that way. And they sound different when you play it that way. So let's do it again. It's not that big of a deal. Each time you play it, you get better. Oops. I missed the chord. It's okay. Because I can go back and play that. I messed up a bunch. I'm going to re-record. It does have this bug, and this is part of, it's just scaling to where when you press record, it'll miss that first one. See, I press play, it works fine. If I hit record, it's going to change that. So it'll, watch this. And it could be Ableton, I don't know. See how it hits the first one? It's okay. I don't have to re-record it because I can fix it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fix this. Mistakes I made. And we'll get rid of this one. So all I'm doing is I'm about to stretch this chord out like so. then I know at the halfway point I played the same first chord again, so that's fine. So I'll hold down Option, drag it back, and there it is. So you see how similar these chords are here? It's pretty much the same chords. You can look right here and follow it. This chord should be different, but it looks like I played the same chord. So let's just listen to it, see. Oh wait, you know what? We didn't even need to drag back. The chord is right here, by the way. You can see the alignment where it's at. For some reason, it gates that chord, and I'm not sure. I want to say it's a scalar thing. Could be something else, but it might be a scalar for whatever reason on that first chord. It always gates it. And I mean, it's not anything new. It does it like religiously, seriously. So there's the first chord. It is different. Okay. It's the same B flat, but it looks different. The voicing is different. If you need to humanize something, if you don't want to do all the other work and allow it, you can always press the humanize in here and it'll do it for you. And you can adjust the percentage. I showed you guys this to give it some human feel. You can also make these chords strum in here. It's pretty simple. If you go right here, you can pick strum. And then let's say like this chord, you wanted to strum a little that way. This chord, you wanted to strum a little that way. It's moving them at a slant, if you can see it. This one. So now when you play it, it'll. So you don't need to put a drastic slant on it like this, because then it's going to be too much. But put it a little bit so it feels natural. And you could do this for each one if you want. Just a little bit that way. Maybe this one you want it closer to the center. And then the last one, maybe you want this one kind of more straight on. That's fine. And then come down here for the next one. That way. And you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this just to show you. And Ableton, they have their own strum thing that you can do. So maybe shorten these notes if they start just a little bit. There you go. And then strum it. This one. This is tedious, but I mean, if you want to do it, you can do it. There you go. All right. And then this one, I'm just going to pull it a little more this way and leave it there. All right. That was extra work, but you don't have to do all that. Consolidate it. So we put a little strum on it, a little human. Now we could play the melody over the top. Or if you don't want to play that melody, we could go get a guitar or something else, a different instrument, and just have the chords played on the piano and then come through with some type of electric guitar would be cool. Let me grab an electric. Yeah, we'll go with a 335. Ample sound guitars. I'm gonna turn the click off for now. We can add some drums later. If you don't want guitar, you have horns like trumpets and whatever you want to, or just a regular lead. Let's put a trumpet in there. That'd be fun to mess around with. All right, let's fix these. Now I did, I didn't do these in your typical 4/8 bars. I did 12. You don't have to do this in 12. You can do this in whatever you want it to be. So if you don't like all these, you could just go back and, just take the first 8 and then use these last 4 as your like a turnaround. So that's what I'm gonna do. Get rid of this. Oops. It's moving very fast because we have so in order to do this, I'm gonna have to shorten these a little bit and then nudge them just a little more this way so it doesn't cut them off. Oops. So that way when we grab it, it doesn't cut the back end off. There you go. So we'll use that and I'll show you how we could do that. So we'll go duplicate and we get to the last one, or we can even do it here. We'll drop this one in. So you could do two things. You could either put it here and keep this just going this way if you feel more confident with that, and then let this just be the tail end of the 32 bars. However you want to structure it, it's up to you. Right? I'm just picking some way. All right, let's doctor this up a little bit. So the way I do it typically is I'm gonna grab a color limiter to put some saturation on this trumpet. Then I'm gonna put it in the space I want it, a little bit right, and then I'm gonna throw some reverb over that. We're gonna use a room reverb. I made myself a preset using this, the Menta Foundry presets, but that's what it looks like for mine. I'll leave it on the screen in case you have this plug-in or something like it. It's just a room reverb. We'll jam out in a minute and I'll record the jam. Let's get a little deeper into this track. So the dyad is going, you could take the dyad and record it to an audio track. And then that way you have these and you don't have to run the dyad, which also allows you to create other patterns. So you could do this live. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So we're not worry about the drums. I mean, not worry about the trumpet right now. We're gonna route the dyad into here, and we'll do post mixer. I think that's how you want to do it. Because if you do dyad 3 and 4, you can see you can get each track, but I just want to get a solid mix of it. So let's just press record. Press record, press N, and we're going to send whatever comes from dyad into here. We'll manipulate it a little bit to get different pieces and parts or whatever. So just hit record. It's going to take care of most of that. Why is it not recording? So you see we're recording it right there. So I might let this play for like 8 bars or even 16 and then switch it at 16. So you don't have to have it boring. You can kind of mix it up a little bit here. Mix it up again. It's kind of like a percussion texture across the back. One more time. There you go. Turn that off. And now you have your part right here. You can leave dyad on there. It doesn't really matter. Because you got to mute dyad at some point, right? So there it's off. Here's your percussion piece. You can adjust the volumes if you want or leave it. So you see what I did there? You could do this all the way through the whole song so that it gives it a variation. It's not super repetitive. The chords are the most repetitive part of this. I didn't use Trillion this time, so you don't have to go buy Trillion if you don't have it. But you could get some simple little bass that you like, synth bass or whatever, and make your bass line. We'll use the horn just to... By the way, all the SWAM instruments I think are still 33% off on iOS. So you could use iOS and record in with iOS. You don't have to buy the desktop version, which is really expensive. Thank you, Crazy Web. I appreciate you. You have a good rest of your day too. I'll be done soon here. right, cool. I like that. Then hit the button. Anything that you have going in is going to record when you do the MIDI. So that's why you see these other spots coming up here. But here's what I just played on trumpet. I could add to the beginning of this or not, just leave it. Sometimes when you do stuff that's out of not your norm, it actually sounds better than trying to do something that's perfectly 4 bars, 8 bars, unless you're making like EDM where they typically work like that. But if you're trying to get something that's like ambient jazz, play outside the pocket a lot, then you can come up with some cool stuff. So let's listen back. Okay, I just felt something there, so I wanted to add it. So I'm gonna hit the button again. Bring it down in, that's fine. So we just added to this. All I gotta do is consolidate that and it's there. I don't know, if you feel something in the middle of something, go for it. That's the fun of just exploring and experimenting. Ooh, that was a nice little accent. Okay, I like that too. So let's go here. Same principle, we're just gonna drop it down in there. Bring that back over the top. And consolidate it. So now it's in there. I think this note should have been held, but I might have. So let's try that again. We're gonna bring the volume up on that note just a little bit so we hear it. Okay. Could be a little louder. Play it again. I like it. You can also go mess with the MPE if the MPE is too low. Watch. And I'm gonna stretch the MPE out. Right there. Fix that note. See? I just wanted it to just a little longer. But a lot of breath in there makes it for a good run. My dad was a trumpet player, so he used to play a lot of trumpet music. But it's those holding a note, just like B.B. King would do with the guitar with the blues. He'd play you a few notes, but he'd hold notes, and so put all that into your music, and that's what you get. And if you want, you could grab another instrument if you feel like you come over the top of that. So we could let's grab a guitar, see if we can come up with something with the White Falcon. Needs a little push to it. You can change the amps in here. Whew, it's a little much. We'll go back to the JC and put some saturation on it because it goes from like straight intense right there. Let me grab a color limiter. So we're gonna throw a color limiter on, increase the saturation, maybe a little bit more. And if you need more loudness, you can. But I'm okay with it being a little softer than that. Okay, I like that. I don't like that little last note. We'll get rid of it, but we'll get rid of this. I didn't really care for this. I'm a firm believer that playing when I jam, I find my best moments. Then when I try to practice recording something, I mean, I can do it that way, but my best moments typically are when I just jam and like spontaneous, right on the spot type stuff. Create some more. Nice. There maybe needs something to be in this gap, but not necessarily. Sometimes you don't. But just go off of what you feel and hear. Don't try to make rules, because as soon as you do that, it becomes stale. Okay, I like that. So we're gonna add that to it. There it is. So we added a little bit of piece of more guitar. Nice. I wanted to go. Dun, 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 dun. Let me hear that again. Dun, dun. Let me see if I fix the MPE on this one. We'll extend that one. I'll let it linger. Bring this note up a little bit and see what that does. It should be like that. So this note needs to be shortened. And this one needs to strike around there and stretch out. Something like that, maybe. Could be a little, maybe a little bit behind. Maybe that's the wrong note. Wait, give me back to the horn. What note am I playing? That's not even in the scale, is it? No, it's... I kind of like it even though it's not in the scale. We're going to leave it alone. Don't try to overthink this. You mess something up. That's what happened when you just play on feel. Tonally, it sounds fine. And see, this is the kind of song that I don't need any drums on, because you start putting too much drums. And I remember this friend who is a drummer used to listen to my songs and he'd be like, "Why you got so many kicks going on? Why you got so..." And I was like, you know what? He is a drummer. He's probably right. And he was right. I was overdoing it to try to compensate for where other stuff sounded bad. And so he was like, if the instruments sound good, the drums just kind of keep the pace and give it some rhythm and some complement. But if you just overdo drums, some of the times the simplest drums can be the best. So keep that in mind when you're making music, unless you're making EDM, which I think is drum based primarily, drum and bass. You don't need a ton of like crazy drums. Because you can see I'm just using percussion. Simple. I do wonder though on this percussion, could we use a color limiter to give it some saturation? Let's put a little bit on it and just see what it does to it. Oops. Start right there. let's try this preset. Whew, I like that. I dig this. See, this went from a madness session, like crazy start, but I actually dig where we ended up. And guess what? This is 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes. That's pretty good for a song with no vocals and no real arrangement. We can add a little bit to it by putting maybe an intro in. And one thing I was thinking about for the intro is something simple to do, which is just grab some of these pieces right here of FM, whatever you want to call it, particularly the way it ends. And we're going to hold down Option and just make a copy that drags over here. And that can be the intro, something simple as that. So it could start with let it fade in. Or if I don't like it, which I kind of don't, we could just play something. It could be something on the guitar that leads in, or it could be something on, you could do a bass line to lead in, or you could do a couple chords that lead in. I'm going to set this back one more bar, and we're going to do like a couple little chords of some sort to lead in. So we'll go back to our scalar, throw a couple chords to start with, and then we'll finish this song pretty quickly. It's probably going to be a little less than 2 minutes, or a little more, I'm sorry, than 2 minutes, but it won't take me that long to do this because now we kind of know where to go. So I'm going to use some of the same chords we have so we don't have to, there's no starting over or anything of that nature. So we'll hit record here. Something like that. Okay, those 3 chords will work. So we'll start recording. Now check this out. I did not play to the tempo. That's okay on the intro because I'm not worried about it. I'm just playing some chords. Let's extend this out to here. About right there. And we're going to randomize this a little bit more like that. And I'm going to pull the volumes just down because it's going to kind of fade into what the other portion is doing. So simple. Like that. That'll be the intro. Something simple. And you can look here on the MPE on this last one if you need to adjust something. You can adjust the way it fades. I'm not going to mess with it. I actually like where it was at. It's fine. So we'll leave that alone. And I'm okay with like that simple intro to get into the music. And then on the outro, we could either add another chord or let this chord ring out. So you can see this stops pretty much on the dime. Usually I would have this echoing out probably. We could do that by chopping it, put it on a different track, add an echo to it. What's up, Hero? Good to see you, man. But I think what I'm going to do is, because this song is long enough where I don't want it to be any longer, I'm going to extend this chord by going in here, and then I'm going to duplicate this chord. And then I'm going to do is play it one more time, but I'm going to drop it, the volume in it. So to play. All right, and watch. Then I'm going to go in and make it strum. So see how I'm strumming it? I'm just going to strum it like this. A big strum as far as I can get it. Yep. There it is. So it's a little kind of something I would use, like if I was playing it on the guitar, I might arpeggiate it out. So use the strumming feature inside of here and just highlight the notes and then hit strum and then drag it to the percentage you want it. On this one, you can adjust the tension too, but on this one I did it all the way because I wanted to sound like I'm just out, right? That's kind of what the goal was. And there you have it. So let's see. So we go to this last part. Nice. That's perfect. And then we'll leave a little bit of gap. Always leave yourself some space so that when the song goes out, if you wanna fade the volume in Ableton, you can do it in any other program, but Ableton, if you hit A on your computer, you'll see this come up. And then if you go down here, you can change this to mixer, and you could do track volume. And then you could just do a automation of the volume going out. You don't have to do that. If you play it the right way, then you could just do it that way. I'm just showing you. So like same thing for an intro. If you don't want to, if you have audio, just use the faders. But if you're using MIDI and you want it to fade in, that's the way to do it. So let's say like I want the intro to fade in, but I want it to fade in about right here. I'm going to draw 1 point there, 1 point here, and I'm going to drop this. So now it'll play like this. So you might want that a little louder, about right there. And that's your 0 or -3. I'm going to turn this up a little bit, probably like 18. So then it'll sound like this. Maybe a little louder, maybe like 12. So just a fade, quick automation fade. That's the bass. This is like a bass we made in this little Ableton plugin called Gen that is sold by Elephant. And all I did was hit random until I got the sound I wanted. And you can save a preset. We use Dyad with Valhalla's Future Verb to create this. Using the random features to create our own little textural percussion. Swarm instruments on the horns with a little color limiter and the Valhalla room reverb. Ample Sounds White Falcon, I believe. With the color limiter that has saturation. There it is. So that's it. So I appreciate each and every one of you, Crazy Wabbit, Marcus, people lurking in the back, D Rice Movement. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Hero, of course. Check out Hero's channel. Check out Bedroom Bangers channel. And anybody else that's lurking in the back, I appreciate you. You can smash the like for me. I appreciate that. And we'll keep making some music. I'll see you guys on the next video.